What's up, everybody? My name is Brandon.
And I'm Gabby.
And welcome to the first edition of Geeky Reviews, where today we are talking about Jumanji, or as we like to call it, Jack Black is the new Mean Girl.
So fair warning, we're going to talk about this movie, and there's probably going to be some spoilers, so this is your warning. If you haven't seen the movie...
Your loss.
Yes. Maybe not watch this video unless you don't care. So
that too. Okay, so first off, if you've gone on our website, you've seen before, we give a point system for each of our reviews. And this one, we, as a consumer, as a person that's just going for the movies, we gave it a 10 out of 10. But we are a movie review site, so we can't always do that. So we gave it a 9.5 for good reason. First of all, let's talk about the positives. Gabby?
Okay, so this movie was hilarious. I mean, the cast was amazing.
Can't pick a better one.
Exactly. Like, I love The Rock. The Rock is just hilarious, and him and Kevin Hart just work together.
If not gonna lie, if they never did a movie without each other, I wouldn't be upset. I really wouldn't.
If they only did movies together, that would be great. It would just be amazing.
Box office hit after box office hit after box office hit.
Anyways, so those two are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black, like our title mentions, he's amazing. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, like, you really couldn't get a better woman actor unless you got a woman actor, and
yes.
Even then, I don't think you would get a better one than Jack Black. It was perfect.
I know. It was sort of unexpected. I was not expecting him to be that good.
Exactly. Like, I was expecting Jack Black trying to be a teenage girl, but it seemed like it was a teenage girl trying to be Jack Black.
Exactly.
And it worked. Which, speaking of that's one thing that I really liked about this. It wasn't Dwayne Johnson trying to be Dwayne Johnson. It wasn't even Dwayne Johnson trying to be a teenager. It was a teenager that's in the body of Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
And same thing with Kevin Hart and Karen Gillan and Jack Black. It was literally, they were just a face. The person inside them was still that teenager. Now, I'm sure that they did put some of their past teenage self in that. Karen Gillan, I mean, who knows? Back in her early school days, she could have been a nervous wreck. She could have been
awkward. Yeah.
She could have been that person. And same thing with Dwayne Johnson. He could have been maybe not as skinny as a kid as the actual teenager. I can't remember his name. I know, kill me. But
the teenager or the actor?
The teenager, the Jewish white kid.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
See, exactly, because nobody cares. Once he turned into
Spencer.
Dwayne.
It was Spencer.
Okay, but
it was
still
definitely Spencer. Sorry.
Once he turned into Dwayne Johnson, nobody cared. But
he was.
I'm sure that Dwayne Johnson was kind of that nerdy kid, because his dad was a wrestler, so of course back then grand wrestling was big, but it still isn't. And plus, if you've seen photos of him back then, he wasn't that. He was a bit of a big guy, but that doesn't mean that he had the confidence of that.
Yeah.
But on to another thing. It's just the movie itself wasn't even trying to be a sequel. Yeah. But it wasn't trying to be its own movie. It was a little bit of both. It was a sequel, but it wasn't a straight continuation of Alan Parrish or from the first movie played by Robin Williams. It was kind of a continuation of the story of the board game.
Yeah, I definitely like the way that they did that. They really did that well. Instead of it just being like, okay, it's going to be a board game, and then people are going to play the board game. They took liberties with like changing the board game. Like the game itself changes itself into.
It really does.
It changes itself into a video game at the beginning of the movie because the first kid didn't want to play it. I mean, I just thought that was cool. I mean, the board game is, it's a magical thing.
It's almost like it needs, maybe not
It needs
the
to be
soul, played. but it you know it hurt in the movie. The kid says, "Who plays board games anymore?"
Yeah.
And the game goes, "All right, you don't play that. Well, what do you play?" And it sees him playing video games. Oh, okay. Well, let's do that. So it does. So it makes me think of how maybe it was something before a board game.
Yeah. What? But what would it have been?
Did we just come up with another movie?
Prequel to Jumanji.
Pre-Manji.
Pre-Manji? Really?
That sounds like a disease. I'm sorry to announce you have the pre-Manji. No.
Anyways,
we're gonna have to make some calls, sir.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Let's talk about what was your favorite thing about the movie?
I guess my favorite thing was just I had to go back to. I mean, the whole movie was great, but if I had to pick one favorite thing, I really liked of how they kept nodding back to the first movie with the board game, and then it turned into a video game. Not only that, another spoiler here, but there's a part where where the teenagers, where the group finds a shack or a makeshift shed. I guess not even a shed.
It is a shelter.
Shelter, thank you. That's the word. And they're looking around. They see the name. They see carved in one of the logs of wood. Alan Parrish was here, and they're going, "Oh, who's Alan? Apparently that's some other kid that was in here before." And if you didn't think about it, it was one of those you blinked and you missed it.
Yeah.
But
especially if you hadn't seen the first one,
which if you haven't. If you haven't, why?
Where have you been? I mean, you might be a smaller child and maybe not seen it yet, but you really should. You should see it. The first one's amazing.
Yes, I mean, Robin Williams, people.
Go watch the first one.
But finish this video first, then go watch that.
No. Pause this video, go watch the first one, and then come back and finish this one.
I mean, you could do either one. We'll still be here. But, so if it was a blink and you missed it, but if you knew the first movie, you instantly went, oh, this is the same jungle that he was in back then.
Oh, man. The continuity in this movie.
Well, okay. If I had to pick a favorite scene, I will say my favorite scene was near the end. You see an overhead of the entire island.
Oh.
And there's a light coming from the center of the island, almost like an orb. And if you look carefully, the trail, you could see a trail with the orb in the center. It was the game board.
Yeah. The jungle is the game board.
Exactly. And it made my heart happy. Like I said, we were worried, not because of the cast, but we were worried that they were going to try.
I was not worried. I saw Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan. I said, this movie's going to be great.
I mean, I did too, but I was afraid that they were going to try to do a remake or basically just, I don't know, I guess copycat, but here's where the negative comes in. They kind of did copycat.
Yes, but okay, so that's something you didn't like. I liked that they did that because it fed into, like I was going to say, the continuity of the whole, like, I'll call it series since there's two of them now. Mm-hmm. It fed into the continuity. I believe what you're about to say is the fact that the guy, what is his name? Alex?
Yeah.
Alex, who is the first kid to get stuck in the game before the rest of them come in, because it's like 4 kids in like this time period, so 4 teenagers of this time period get sucked into the game. But in the 90s, 1 kid was sucked in before that, and he was stuck because he can't finish the game without the rest of the players. So what happens at the end of the movie is that's what you're talking about, the part where he gets sent back to his time in the 90s, the exact same time that he left in the first place, just like Alan Parrish did in the original film. I like that because it stayed true to what the game board would do. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, but that if we're going by the rules of the game board, yes, it did exactly what it was supposed to. and that's fine.
But it also broke a ton of rules by turning itself into a board game, or not a board game.
I mean, it breaks laws of physics by sucking them into a video game.
It's gotta follow some kind of rule. It might as well be the continuity one.
Anyways, so we're following the rules of the game board. Yes, it did follow it to the letter of, hey, you won and you're alive. Okay, you get spat back into your original time. But since we are talking about a movie, it did. I don't want to go so far and say it's a cop out, but I do want to say it was a bit lazy. What I would have liked, and I know you're happy with this, but we've talked before, and you kind of you would have liked it even better if it went this way.
Oh, yeah.
This is where bit of major spoilers.
Yeah.
But
Nick Jonas,
the boss fight in general.
Well, his name is
Alex. But the whole boss fight was a little underwhelming. I was expecting a big blowout, a guy that can control the minds of animals and basically have him do his bidding, and it was boring.
They didn't actually fight him at all. They just kind of
they
stood in front of him.
Pushed.
Did they push him? I don't remember that.
Alex or Nick Jonas just grabbed him by the shoulders and went, "Oh, no," and then the guy threw him and, "Oh my gosh, he's knocked out." Well, then you're just a freaking wimp, aren't you? "Oh my gosh, you threw me, you big strong man."
See, I don't remember him being thrown at all. I just remember them standing away from each other and talking and give me the crystal or whatever, the eye.
Yeah,
but he didn't have it, and then Kevin, and then they eventually, it gets put back. So I don't even remember them fighting at all.
I mean,
which is probably the issue there.
You can't even call it fighting, but
exactly.
What I would have liked a better boss fight, because it seemed like that no matter what the kids were. I'm granted the kids are going to win, but it seemed a little too easy. Because also, think about it. It's supposed to be a video game. This boss is supposed to be a hard-hitting boss. He's supposed to be your tough challenge.
Yeah.
Your toughest challenge. Basically.
In all video games, the boss fight is the toughest challenge.
Exactly. And if I'm going on a video game aspect, the entire game, tough, the boss, one punch and you're dead. That's almost like the original Mario and Bowser. You touch an axe and he automatically dies. Back then, sure, it worked. Nowadays, really? That sucked.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel with this. Not only that, I would have liked a sacrificial lamb, or like Gabby labels it, a, kill your darlings. Yeah. I would have liked it and this is how I would have written the movie, but I would have liked it. They didn't have a plan. They just got to the point where they're doing the boss fight. They're fighting him, and they're realizing, oh god, we might actually die. Whoops. Yeah. And he's about to do a big attack on them. Nick or Alex steps in his way, and they're all going, "No, this is your last life. You're not gonna make it back." And he says, "I've already lost my life to this game.
Yeah.
It's your time. You guys still have time to get out." He basically sacrificed himself, buys him time, and that's when they come up with, "Oh, I'll do this, you do that, and boom, we win."
Yeah.
That would have been better. That would have been more satisfying. And that kind of, instead of having a, "Yay, everybody's alive," almost have it like a Rogue One situation where everybody dies.
He wanted everybody to die?
Not everybody. But kind of have that sulking of, we won. Oh, but what was the cost?
Yeah.
And not have them all down and like, "Oh, I'm so sad."
More like a mourning, but he sacrificed himself. He was okay with dying at that point.
So basically, okay, we lost him, but we need to live our lives, to the absolute fullest. Because what type of message is that to him?
Yeah.
For him to just waste that on us, and you could have still had the same ending of the the mean girl now wanting to do adventurous stuff and now wanting to go camping and go on an adventure
and hiking.
The jock who actually cares about other people and is actually willing to do the hard work and not just here you do it for me, and the nerd and the shy girl have
just having more confidence in general.
Yes, and actually still getting together. That would have been perfect.
Yes.
That would have been fine. And I noticed something in the ending because I watched it twice.
So did I, by the way. Twice.
If, in the very end, when they destroy the game, they use a bowling ball.
Oh, yeah.
That has a rhino on it. And it says
really?
Rhino.
I missed that.
So literally, a rhino kills the game.
Oh, man.
I saw that, and
that's hilarious.
Granted, the rhino holds no big thing in the game.
Okay, not the game, but in the first film, wasn't like that one of the animals that stampeded?
Yes.
Okay, because that's one of the bigger was there even elephants?
Yeah.
In the first, there was elephants, there was rhinos, there was monkeys. So we don't even see rhinos in this movie, do we?
Yes.
We do see rhinos. Oh!
In the helicopter scene.
Right. That's
They were all over my face.
That's how...
Can never relive that.
That's how Kevin Hart, a.k.a. Fridge, dies one of the times.
After he eats cakes and explodes.
His weakness is cake, and that's
the
hilarious.
Cake is a lie. People, don't do it. But I thought that was nice. I thought that was a nice little way of, in a way, saying Rhino destroys the game.
Yes.
It was nice. It was a nice little ending. I chuckled at that. But I mean, really, for that, really, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for what we said of the boss fight, and another thing.
Wait, before you jump into the other thing, the other aspect that they added into the movie that I really liked, because it was a video game, they were able to do lives, and they didn't just die instantly, like Alan Parrish would have if he had died in that jungle, because he had one. It wasn't that kind of game then.
Right.
So they had 3. It was this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a tattoo that showed them how many lives they had. So they had 3, and they were really confused at first about what this tattoo meant, and then one of them dies, and they finally... Well,
I knew right away, but...
we knew, but the characters didn't, and I really liked how, especially the nerdy guy, Spencer, he didn't figure it out right away, because it wasn't that obvious in the game to know that was lives, but he plays video games. He didn't realize it, but the rest of them didn't. So it took them a while to figure that out, that it was the lives. I thought that was cool that they ended up with 3 lives. I just had to throw that out there.
Another negative thing that I forgot to talk about.
Yes.
Sorry.
The third negative thing. The reason why it is a 9.5 and not a 10 out of 10.
There was a point where...
There's a whole scene.
Keep in mind, people, this is a PG-13 movie.
PG-13.
With Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Dwayne Johnson, who are known for doing some raunchy, dirty jokes.
Yes.
When we saw this the first time, after this scene that we're about to talk about, a couple of, 2 or 3 family of 5-year-olds walked out, which we're going, oh, that's sad. But then we thought, that's on you. You knew what movie it was. You knew the rating. It's there for a reason, people.
Yes, it's PG-13.
And you know who's in it. Now, if you don't know the actors, you can at least go, hey, this is a PG-13 movie.
Maybe not.
Maybe I shouldn't. Or maybe I should go see myself and then see if it's eligible for the kids. So, for any parents that saw the movie with the kids and were furious with this part,
it's kind of your fault.
Yes,
that's what we're saying.
And we don't mean this as a mean way of going, you're a stupid person, you're a bad parent. We're saying
it's PG-13, and
what
you should have known better.
You might as well take your 5-year-old to see the new It movie. There's a part where they have to go to the bathroom. Now, Jack Black is a teenage girl.
Right.
who discovers
It's a teenage girl in the body
A man's
of
body.
a man's body for the game.
and he/she has to go to the bathroom too. I'm not going to divulge any more, but you can see where the scene goes.
Yeah. And
It was a funny scene.
Yeah, and it ends up being a joke that, I mean, the length of the scene, it could have been a little bit shorter. I didn't really
Just
have
like 30 seconds shorter.
I really didn't have a problem with the length of that scene, but like they just kind of beat it like a dead horse, you know.
Yeah, and I would have been fine if, like I said, they cut 30 seconds out of it, or even skip the whole scene in general, but put that scene in like the DVD extras. That would have been a nice nod. And would the movie have?
I think that would be worse though, because more children would be able to see that, like, if that makes sense. Like, just because it's on the, I feel like it's better that it's in this.
But I guess in this situation, it is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
If you don't watch what your kids are watching, and granted, we're not parents, we're not trying to tell you how to do anything.
No.
But if you want to watch the movie, just the movie. Do Redbox, because most of those, the special features are disabled. Or, you just risk it. If the moment you see it going south, click it off.
Yeah.
But either way, whether they put it as a DVD extra, or they just cut it down short and put the rest of it in the DVD extra, I would have been fine. I don't get me wrong, I like the scene. I'm disturbing in my humor. But even I was kind of like, okay, 30 seconds ago would have been fine, but no, you had to beat it like a dead horse because this generation, we know just fart jokes.
They they definitely killed the joke.
Yeah.
They just
But really,
shot it.
Out of this entire movie, those three things.
Those are the only three things that we have a problem with.
Boss fight, needed a sacrificial lamb, and the toilet humor. I'm calling that for purposes too. If they just changed minor things in those scenes, I'm not gonna lie, I think we would have had to have given this movie a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I mean, spoiler alert, this movie got a higher rating than Star Wars: The Last Jedi on our site. Final grade for this movie is going to be a 9.5.
Yes.
That's like an A8 plus. Which, again, for what I expected for this movie, it's a lot higher than I gave credit for it in the beginning.
Definitely.
So that does it for the first installment of Geek Eater Review. Make sure to follow us in the descriptions down below, where you get our full written movie reviews.
Yes, and back us on Patreon so you can support us in everything that we're doing.
And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to also hit that bell icon so you get notifications every time we put up new videos. So for now, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Gabby.
And become a brethren starting today. We'll see y'all next time. Ooh, you're in Jumanji now.